So I said initially that I was gonna talk about something else that happened this week, but I just couldn't because today I was, scrolling through my feed and I saw that Tommy Sotomayor, how you say it? Tommy Sotomayor. If y'all familiar with this dude, okay, he has a YouTube channel that is dedicated to the disrespect, degrade, and everything other disgusting terminology you can use to describe American Black women. So he went on the Fresh and Fit podcast, and if some of my subscribers do not know, because I didn't know who Fresh and Fit were either until they decided it was going to be okay for them to disrespect Miss Asian Doll, and went on there, those guys, because those. I'm sorry that those type of men, I don't look for those type of men. Anyways, so needless to say, Tommy, Mr. Disrespect Black women. I mean, I literally saw a thumbnail where he partitioned a roach and a sister. Yes, this is this kind of guy. Black man comes from a Black woman. Okay. So today, me and AP were going to breakfast, and I was looking on YouTube, and I saw Tasha K, and it says something girl, Tommy Sotomayor pressing charges against girl he physically and verbally assaulted. So I'm like, ooh, Tasha K, she be the one with the extra T. That's the one that got into it with Cardi B and everything.
Child. And that was a whole nother thing.
So I go and I click and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, let me see what happened.
Right.
He's not gonna try to play me. Who's playing you, stupid bitch? No, bitch, you play me, stupid bitch. Nobody's playing your bitch, stupid
He really trying to fight a girl though. He out of pocket.
Cause girl, I sent you the video. Okay, I sent you the video.
Because I don't know this man.
Honey.
I don't know this man.
He's not welcome in my home. He's not welcome in. When I say, she was like, yes, sister, shout out to you, young lady.
Listen, she said, you're not going to do me. Not today, not never.
And wait a minute. She was like my height, like 5'5".
Right. And then, you know what really got me was like when he jumped up, like, and was gonna like fight.
Like, anytime I see a guy get that upset, he wants to fight a girl that he's not fucking, I just think he's like weird. I just think like, oh, you have emotional trauma.
Listen, sir. Sir. Control yourself. Like, you should never get in that much of a heated exchange with a woman to where you're like jumping up and like you're gonna hit her.
Like, sir.
So I would have swung too, because now I feel threatened.
Absolutely.
Because you hopping up and you puffing out your chest like I'm a man, and you gonna hit me.
Like I'm.
So let me
make it make sense.
Hold on.
Make it make sense, y'all.
And we're not condoning violence by any means.
Definitely not. Definitely.
You know, but I don't even know all what was going on. It was so chaotic.
All I know.
It was so chaotic that I was just like, I cannot. But the way this man reacted to this woman and got up and acted like he was like gonna fight her, and like security has to get between them, and I'm just like,
she was still swinging. You hear me? She was like, no,
don't care.
We going all the way. Going all the way.
We going all the way because you took it there.
Now, when I watched the, now at this point I'm invested, right?
Right.
So I watched the Tasha K interview with the young lady.
We did the podcast basically he had on his OnlyFans, because that was the original plan for me to fly out there for. I honestly did not know who Tommy was before all this, so I didn't know his background. I didn't know that he had a history of really talking so much about dark-skinned women.
And she's a young girl. She's 25. She decides to fly out to do a an OnlyFans podcast, which sis,
That's her prerogative.
sis. That's you.
Do you?
Do you, boo?
Be safe.
Okay, do you? Okay. But if he didn't pay you, if that was what the whole gist was, he didn't pay you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to Walmart and do you get to try stuff
For free.
for free
Take it home.
and then bring it back?
Whoa.
Well, if you're a thief, do you go?
Oh well.
Do you?
Sure, somebody knows the way.
Do you go to McDonald's and be like, you know what? Let me get
Order a whole everything.
a whole spread, and then be like, you know what? You know what?
Don't even worry about it.
Young lady.
She got flued out, or she paid to.
No, she flew her out. But what is that? That's travel. That's travel.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be, and I'm just gonna.
Was it like a trade for a trade? Like, was it like?
She didn't elaborate, and that's what should have been communicated or expanded on. She didn't really expand on that too much, and that was my only gripe. And this goes to any person in business. If you, and I'm only saying this honestly as somebody that's in the corporate space.
Right.
If you are yourself, you are 1099 and you're a business,
right?
You get, you file, you don't do 1040s. You're a sole proprietor, you an LLC, whatever you got going on.
Right.
You are a business. Do you deliver a service, a product
for free?
For free? Absolutely not. So that flight, that is not compensation.
Right.
That is travel.
Right. It should be already a part of the deal.
That's included.
Yeah.
So please don't be out here. That was my gripe with the young lady. Like, be safe.
And always get something in writing. I need an email. I need a text thread. Because they will definitely finagle you.
Which she got finagled. Because
they will definitely finagle you.
Long story short, they were supposed to do something. It didn't work out that way. He wasn't paying. He wasn't paying. Her homegirl, did what she do or whatever. And she got the money. She didn't get the money. And all that goes to say. It sounds like
a wicked web there.
All that could have been avoided if you did the basics, which isn't, anything complex.
Right.
Get it up front. Services are not rendered until payment is fulfilled.
Right. And thank you for making that clear and saying that, because I think sometimes, especially with these young girls, they are seeing this opportunity to to fulfill their dreams or whatever those dreams may be. And they get excited and they get ahead of themselves and they're not thinking about the whole business aspect or, what is this really going to be? How will it be used? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Will this come back and bite me in the future? And I'm just speaking up from someone experienced in that department, not to shame anyone, but, we all make mistakes when we out here, trying to
definitely
get to where we want to be in our lives. So
get coworkers.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to be in the same lane as you, meaning, but you should have bounced that idea off somebody.
Absolutely.
But wait a minute, though. Hold on, though. I'm still proud of her, though, because she handled him. He wanted a fight, and he got one. And he got one.
He absolutely did. He tried the right one.
And she had it. She had that day? Time.
All the time.
She had all the time that
time.
Day. So that in that space, young lady. But just on some basic game to game. Don't ever go nowhere if ain't nobody paying you. I don't care what it is. If that's what you're doing, because she has a boutique.
Right.
And she was saying all these different things she did when she was on Tasha K. Shout out Tasha K, by the way.
Yeah.
She conducted a really good interview. Asking her basically, good probing questions. But please make sure if you're going to travel Timbuktu for anybody. Payment, all that should be outlined. I'm not
outlined
baby.
In writing.
Then there's a girl.
In writing.
So I'm getting dressed. And I'm researching all this stuff. And I see there's a live feed that comes up by another YouTuber named Jessica X. Okay. I'm not sure where Jessica X is from.
Okay.
I don't know too much about her, but her live feed was so disgusting. She
No.
went on a rant and really, really, truly tried to just berate this young woman, like basically picking apart every single statement she said. I was so alarmed, and then hearing the tone of her voice and her accent, I knew she wasn't an American black woman, because I'm like, there is no woman on the planet that would be okay with a man disrespecting any group of women. That's like me jumping on a bandwagon for a man who disrespects
Like,
Asian women
make it
or
make
Latin
sense.
women, like, or Caucasian women. Like, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, them. What?
No.
I was like, sis, I really hope they paying your rent, because I listened, because I sure did went and go look at your page, girl, and I don't know, that Brandy I Want to Be Down bun, that 1991 bun you had on your head, they must not be worried about you where you at. That's all I could think. Like, sis, why you not worried about the men where you at? Cause honey,
I'm gonna sip on that one, child.
nobody do hair where you at.
Oh.
Nobody.
Oh.
I just was so shocked, like, oh my gosh.
And here you are worried about the next woman and what she doing with her body and her time.
Why he over here partitioning roaches and black women,
Right.
and
In the same
thing, and you over here condoning it, talking about black women don't take accountability. Girl, when I tell you, I was like, you're not taking accountability for your hair. How are we having this conversation?
How are we out here
How
like
are we
this?
out here
What are
like
we
this?
doing?
What are we? I was just like, okay, so don't nobody want you where you at, because she had a certain accent, so I was like, maybe she's from London or something. And I follow a lot of London girls. Them girls is bad.
Okay,
I'm like,
period.
sis,
Shout out.
they not checking for you, because that's the only reason. I hope they paying
She
your
was
rent.
invested, child, to break down every word the lady
Breaking
said
down
now.
this young lady, and oh, she doesn't take accountability, mocking her accent, because the young lady's from Texas, mocking her accent.
Oh, that's
Yes.
disgusting.
So Jessica asks, sweetie, worry about show business and what's going on where you from.
Literally.
And somebody refer her to a hairdresser. Like, the fuck?
Ooh.
Girl, you know how I feel about hair, nails, and the fineness.
Right.
Your profile, though, the picture they go to on your platform, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, boo. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, now I got to do some research, child,
Child,
because
but we
I don't
gonna move
even
it
know.
along.
We gonna
We
move
gonna
it
move it
along.
along, 'cause